So everything should be exact. Everything should be defined very clearly before we can conclude a deal. We have resisted in a very brutal war against my people. They couldn't achieve any of their goals. And it is obvious that those things they have not been able to achieve militarily, they cannot achieve on negotiation table unless there is a win-win solution achieved. So the current negotiation is suffering from the lack of trust. It is also suffering from contradictory messages we receive from Americans. Every day is different from the other day, from yesterday. A tweet today is different from yesterday's tweet. Sometimes in one day we receive 2 different messages. And this is the problem. And add to the question of mistrust. We know that there are also some spoilers who try to derail diplomacy. It's a fact. The warmongers who want to drag the US again into another war. And I hope that wisdom and diplomacy would finally prevail and we go in line of diplomacy to find a negotiated solution. There is no solution but a negotiated one. It's a fact. So with these brief comments, I am available for any question.
How do you view India's relationship with the UAE in the current context? The United Arab Emirates.
So our relation?
India's relation with the United Arab Emirates.
So what is the question?
How do you view it? Given the fact that very closer.
Well, the voice is not very good, so India has relations with so many countries, and this is actually related to India to decide for its relations. What matters for us is good relations which exist between us and India, and as I said, it is rooted in history, and it is rooted in old political, economic, and cultural relations we have always had, and we are determined to continue our good relations with India.
Excellency, Zaka Jacob from Times Now. My question is, yesterday, President Trump and President Xi Jinping of China met, and they issued a statement in which the Americans said that both China and America said that Iran cannot possess a nuclear weapon, and that both China and America agreed that the Strait of Hormuz should be open. What do you have to say to that?
Well, we share the same opinion. Iran has never wanted nuclear weapon, and we have proved that when we signed the deal in 2015, and we have said times and again that we don't want nuclear weapon, and this is not our policy. We have a peaceful nuclear program, and we have always been ready to make confidence that this program is peaceful and would remain peaceful. On the Strait of Hormuz, this is also our wish, that it would be fully reopened. As far as we are concerned, the Strait of Hormuz is open and all vessels can pass except the vessels belong to those countries who are in war with us, who are fighting with us. Those vessels who want to pass should obviously coordinate with our military because of the mines and obstacles which exist. So we will guide them to pass, as we have done for a number of Indian vessels, and we help them to pass. The safe passage of all vessels is our policy and in our interest, and we are ready to help those who want to pass safely and securely. This is our policy. At the same time, we have the blockade by the US. We have insecurity in the region because of the US aggression. So obviously the situation is not like the past, but once the aggression is ended, then I'm sure everything would go back to normal. And we make arrangements for the safe passage of all vessels from the Strait of Hormuz, together with Oman. As all of you know, Iran and Oman are two coastal countries in two sides of the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait is located in territorial waters of Iran and Oman. There is no international waters in between. So everything should be managed by Iran and Oman, and this is what we are now consulting with each other to make sure that the arrangements, that there would be a good administration in the Strait of Hormuz in the future, which guarantees the safe passage of all vessels.
Dr. Araghchi, I'm Adil, I'm from ProjectFreedom. My question is about the BRICS joint declaration,
in which Israel has been called out about its aggression in Gaza and West Bank and its illegal occupation in West Bank.
Please don't use microphone, guys.
Yeah. Israel has been called out for its aggression in Gaza and its illegal occupation in West Bank. But there's a mention that a member state had a reservation about that para. Can we know which member state is that? And also, we haven't seen any reference to US-Israel aggression against Iran. Why is that?
Well, you have to ask the president of this meeting to answer that question. I'm not in charge to answer those questions, but I think everybody knows that which country blocked anything against Israel, and that was very unfortunate. The same country did help US and Israel in their attack, in their aggression against Iran. The same country provided the US and Israeli forces with their airspace, with their territories, with their military bases. And as far as we are concerned, they are in a direct party to this aggression and should be held responsible.
So, Siddharth from beyond. So, I'm Siddharth from beyond. My question to you is, what conversation you had with the Indian External Affairs Minister earlier today? What conversation was on Hormuz, especially given the fact that there are Indian vessels still in the Hormuz? Will they be allowed to